Alright. Well, either A, you hear me live clearly, or B, might be hearing someone sing Bruno Mars in the background, but oh well, we'll work with what we got. So, if you're an old friend, hi. If you're someone that just happened to randomly see this girl live on Facebook just because, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Chantel, the money coach, or let's see, the money saving coach. Testing that one, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, so if you have been watching my last few posts, then you probably know that I mentioned I was going to do some stuff relating to money dates. So this will be video 1 relating to that. For the money date series, I'm going to start with a topic that people don't really think about. So you might be thinking, oh, money, we're going to be talking about budgeting, trying not to overspend, and, there'll be some discussions about that, but not yet. The first thing I want to talk about is goals. So, you might not have been thinking about that, but believe it or not, goals are the number one thing when it comes to money and figuring out how your money's going to go where you want it to. So just to get an idea, let me see if I can get this part to work. Alright, bear with me. I'm used to do some Zoom. I'm trying to make sure I can do a share on here. Okay, looks like I'm not going to be able to do the share screen as I planned, so we will have to improvise. Alright, well thankfully I do have paper and pen on me, so I guess we'll have to do it that way instead. I was hoping to do an actual document, but oh well. Let's see. Alright, one second. Alrighty, so when it comes to money, you have to think about your goals. And not just like the mini ones, but some of your big goals. So for this, I'm going to focus on my goals for the year. So one of the first goals I have for myself is my singing career growth. So, okay. Hopefully you guys can see that, but that's one of my first goals. So that's one of the things I'll be focusing on first when it comes to managing my money, my savings, and so forth. Now, this one came up first when I was thinking about this year because I started touching base on that this year with doing more open mics, getting more involved in networks. This year, I want to do more live shows and ideally do it more on the professional setting versus just casual open mics. I mean, I'll still be doing those too because they are fun. But I want to think long term, so that's one of the things I'll be focusing on when it comes to my money. The second thing on my list, let's see. Second thing is my long-term goals with support. case you guys are not able to listen, or I'm hoping the sound isn't carrying out from further down behind me. A group just got let out earlier, so we'll see. So yes, the second one is support, meaning, sorry. One, am I getting support personally? And two, am I getting support professionally? Now, personal would be mental health, physical health, and so forth. Because I know I made some progress, but also kind of backslided with my physical health. So working to improve that this year. Ideally, work on some different ways to cook and treat my body better versus just being like, alright, I don't have time to eat and I'm grabbing the first thing in front of me, which is not ideal. And then for professional support, could be having a team, which I did start the process last year, but I realized after I started that there's some areas I need to kind of improve on so I can be able to support the support. So that'll be one thing I'm working on this year, so I can have stuff ready before I try again to hire someone, and ideally hire them long term. Now, one of my third things for goals this year is... Oh, 1 second. I have a couple of things on my list. I'm trying to see of these. Yeah, I think we will put this one on. So my third goal that I'll be focusing on for the year, my home. Now, right now, lean towards this. There might be some flexibility, but I am going to write down details of stuff I want to work on for that. So ideally looking at the cost for my long-term home, as well as the costs based off location of the home, and seeing anything else that like coincides with it, whether if let's say I get gym membership, or if the place already has the equipment needed so I don't have to worry about the gym membership, and if it's worth it for that. Two, if it's in a location that provides stuff I need, or if it will have all the stuff I need related to more of the mental and emotional health. So for me, one example would be I like water. So being around the beach or lake, because well, my family's from the islands, and I am based here in Florida, so I pretty much always liked having some sort of body of water nearby. So that'll be one thing that I keep in mind as I'm looking at homes and the expenses for that. So I have to keep all those in mind as I look into the home option this year. Now for my fourth option, that would be travel. So this one I put on because I pretty much haven't been traveling much. I mean, for you guys that do know me, you know I probably travel a lot around town because one of my side things have been Uber. Aside from traveling around town, driving people around, or dropping off packages, I haven't really done a lot of like personal travel for myself. So this year I want to focus on doing more mini staycations, whether some of the local things here. And I mean, I know I'm in Orlando and based in the area with Disney and all that, so a few of the Disney amenities would be nice. But ideally for me, I actually like some of the more in the whole places. So not necessarily like the big chains, although some of them are good, but maybe more so, hey, there's this nice little restaurant, this nice Vietnamese restaurant that's kind of on the side that people don't really notice. But if you're local and you're familiar with that spot, it's one of the best things listed as Vietnamese food. Or let's see, what's one place I like? Oh, if any of you guys like music stuff, then it's like, okay, you can either A, go to your normal Applebee's and have your normal karaoke night, which nothing wrong with that. Or if you want to try something a little different, then one of the places that I started to explore more last year was Howl the Moon. Because if you're, maybe a tourist coming into Orlando, people don't really talk about that. If you're a local that likes to do something that's a little more funny with a little classical taste, then Howl the Moon would be your spot to go to, because you got literally 2 pianists and some vocalists performing whatever song that you request. Yes, just give them a tip, and whatever thing you want to put, as long as they can find the best way to play it, they will play for you. So, yep, I pretty much like those type of things when it comes to, like, doing something fun locally. So that's one of my goals, as well as to do some more, like, sorry, I'm having a hard time getting the words tonight, but ideally trying to find, like, trips that are a little further out, whether A, maybe check out different towns, either places that maybe I hadn't really explored much in, let's say, South Florida, because that's originally where I'm from, or maybe in cities that I have not really drove in, but I keep hearing, oh, there's this great natural reserve, you can definitely check it out here, and also places that are national, because, let's see, I got my list of states of, Georgia, for sure, for fun, and also related to work purpose. New York. I mean, as stated before, one of my things is singing, the other thing is also acting, so, New York is one of my listed options. Then we have Texas. So I had my interest on that partly from a couple of conferences that I wanted to check out. And, I mean, been hearing some good things about the state from a few other people that travel there, so definitely couldn't hurt to check it out. And, oh yes, good old Cali. I mean, I know technically, people are moving out from California and New York, but there are still some good places to check for, visiting. And granted, there are people I know that are living well off in those states and want to see what is it that attracted them to go to those states. What is the beauty, what is the fun things that they love there that made them want to go there in the first place. As well as connecting with the art communities, because I know a few people from different online groups and I like to check it out and see what is that is the hot spots. So yeah, those are some of my travel options. So again, I gotta figure out the money side of those. But, tonight, right now, it's just what are the things I want to focus on for the money and lay out the general. So right now we have singing, career growth, which, yeah, we'll leave it to that right now. It might have a little acting stuff too, but right now I'm just focusing on the singing part. The support part, because all of us need either personal or business support, and I know there's some areas for me that I definitely want to improve on this year. The home, because right now I'm in a pretty good home and been with some great people, but eventually do want to spread my wings and be able to be in my own space and travel, because again, I want to do more of that and I haven't been able to let myself do that yet. So those are 4 things. And then the 5th and final thing, which you would think I have that first, but I want to put that last for a very specific reason. And that one is financial freedom. Now, you're probably wondering why I put that as the final thing. Well, I can't really say my financial freedom number without knowing what's included to cover all my personal expenses. Hence why I want to focus on all the other aspects that I want first. And then I can use those to help me figure out, alright, how much do I need to be comfortable? Where I feel secure, and even if I want to spend a little more, it won't hurt me. Because with financial freedom, the ideal goal is to have continuous income covering your necessities, as well as if you want to, splurge a little bit, without being concerned if you're overspending, if you can't save, if you can't do all the other stuff. So, those are pretty much the 5 goals I'm focusing on right now for my money. I just wanted to look at those first because, as a creative, there's a whole bunch of other stuff I want to do too. But I know myself, and I know it can kind of be on a long tangent, like, ooh, let me do this, that. And having a very distracted mind could make things a little harder to work towards things when it comes to money. So, I'm focusing on those 5 right now, and who knows, if I can secure 1 or 2 of those, then maybe I can add a few more of my other goals later on, or one of these goals might branch out and end up helping some of my other long-term goals that aren't on here yet. Like I said, my main thing right now is singing, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna completely cut off the acting, because they're kind of commingled in a sense. So, if you could, feel free to share in the comments below what are 5 goals that you're working towards for 2023. And feel free to share any. It can be personal, it could be business, or a mixture. I'm just curious, and maybe we can help each other be accountable. Alright, so I now have my 5 goals that I want to focus on for my money, and an extra step which you can either share in the comments or just let me know that you completed it, and something that I'm actually going to do a little later tonight because I don't want this video too long, is expanding on my action steps. Meaning, what are the steps I need to work on to make each of these work? Now it can be the whole list, or if I'm not 100% sure, at least start with the first 1 or 2, or as much steps as I can, so I can at least start somewhere. Because, let's say, for my singing career growth, I've gotten some suggestions from peer mentors, those that are ahead of me in their singing career, relating to, alright, start with the marketing, make sure you have material ready. And that's some stuff that I started working on. And then I also have peers that have mentioned, alright, well, relating to the marketing, you may need to start recording your own material, and have offered to help me with that. Again, means I have to make sure I have money ready and set so I can invest in that good friend who's willing to help me to start creating that type of stuff. And again, I didn't know about that until later on when I was starting to explore my goals for the year. So, if you don't have everything ready, it's fine. Main thing is start somewhere, because the next thing after this will be on actually looking towards the budget side. But because I don't want this to be too long, I'm gonna end this live here. Now, again, I will give you 1 more minute to share what your goals are that you want to work on, and again, can be personal, business, or a mix of both, because mine definitely is. And as you do that, let's make sure I'm not forgetting anything here. let's see. We talked about the top 5 goals, so we're not overwhelmed, but at least have some stuff to work on from now till the end of 2023. Also extended on action steps. So again, if you're not able to do it tonight, definitely feel free to start working on writing those 5 goals, and then start working those action steps. Feel free to share. Okay. Alright. And before I close out, I guess I'll share a little bit of where I am with some of these with my own action steps. Let's see. For the singing career growth, one of them is to start posting a specific number of items relating to singing. So I've started right now with some of the shows that I have done. Most of them have been on Instagram, so I apologize if you guys are not on Instagram. I will work on sharing those on Facebook as well. And then, like I said, been talking to a friend regarding the marketing side, and one of my next steps from here will be putting some money aside so I can invest and work on one of my own pieces with him, because we already were talking and have some of my own pieces that I want to work on, and we have a few ideas going on. So next, make sure I have the money ready so I can do that. And then for support, let's see, right now I am working on 2 specific things for business support at least. One, make sure I have funds to continue a coaching program that I am involved in right now, because I've gotten some help with structuring my business, improving things so I can help my clients and community more. Now I'd like to see how to improve on that more this year, and like to have the funds raised so I can make that investment and work on that more, so maybe I can help either you or someone that you know that could use the assistance on whether reaching those financial goals that maybe you hadn't thought about in a while, or maybe you have been working on some for a while but maybe you're stuck on something. So that's one of my steps I'm working on right now for the support, as well as another program that I technically started last year and got some ideas on how to better use my time for myself personally and business wise, and I like to see how I can continue to improve on that. So A, I take better care of myself, and B, again, able to support those that could use my assistance and be my best self for it. And if you guys are able to help me on that, I will be sharing. I have a GoFundMe for that actually, and if you're able to help me on those, then I would very much appreciate it. For my travel, my steps on that is finalizing my plans to travel. So right now, I started looking at some ideas for oh, I forgot to mention this. One of the places I want to go into is international, and that would be Italy. So, start to finalize details on like, okay, where would I like to stay? What places would I like to check out while I'm in Italy? All the costs for the traveling from here in Florida to Italy, and estimate dates, which, well, I did this a while back, so I have to now readjust the dates, but, you know, at least I have an outline and go from there. And plan to do that with my other locations, and also see like, okay, will this be a solo trip? Will it be a group trip? Will it just be for personal, or could it maybe for business and a little bit of pleasure? Because, you know, couldn't hurt to get paid while enjoying the scenery. For the townhome, so I've had some personal struggles with this because I did used to live in my own apartment for a while, but then 2020 came, and it was a bit of a stretch for me to go to this place initially, but then to have that hit right after was a a little tough on me financially and emotionally. So I've been taking some steps with one of my other coaches to work on the emotional side. From there, I'm gonna work on the physical planning on this. So some of it on the strategic side with seeing, all right, what stuff do I need to make this work and make it less stressful than it was last time. And then also on the manifesting side, because I am good at manifesting stuff. I'm trying to see if I can use that strength in a good way, because if you have those moments where you're thinking, okay, this is going to go downhill, whether it's a job or a relationship that you see, and sadly, that did happen. That's been one of the things I've noticed with myself, where I have to be careful. Okay, let me retract those words and try to switch it to the direction I want to go, and build that energy that I want for it. So, that's what I'm working on next for the home. And I'll see from there what other steps are needed. Aside from, visiting the places. Because, ideally, if you want to go someplace different, you have to physically be there and have that mindset of, alright, this is my place, this is what I'm doing to stay here and enjoy it fully, and this is stuff I'll be doing daily. So, yep. That's where I am with that one on action steps, as well as... right. The financial freedom. So for that one, I'm kind of breaking down step by step, because I'll admit, this one has been one of my harder ones for me, because when it comes to managing money, that's been one of the easiest things for me. Comes to getting from one stage of my income to a higher stage, that's been a little more tougher for me. So, my goal is to at least outline and work towards a goal past my comfort, as well as try to push myself a little further past my comfort, which is not easy. Thankfully, one of the things I am doing to help myself is I've been rereading Jen Sincero's You Are a Badass at Making Money. If you guys are familiar with that book, then you know it's one of the best money books. Financially, but also mindset. So, I'll be working on, well, I forgot how my coaches have put this. There's like 3 goals that ideally you want to reach when it comes to money. There is, let's say your good range, the range that you believe you can easily do and might just take a little extra effort, but you believe you can do it. Then there is your great range, where you see you can maybe do that one. It might take a little different approach than your normal, but you do see yourself being able to push that. And then your ideal range. So this is you're not sure how the heck you're going to do this, but you're trusting God because He put in your heart that you can do it. So, I am working on those. I've been able to hit the good range a few times, hit great. Haven't yet got to my ideal. So, I'm gonna look at the amounts I'm wanting to reach for my good one, and then see how much higher I need to push myself on that. Or, not push. I want to be on negative sense, but what I need to do to gradually get to that. But, yep. I think... Yeah, I definitely talk more than planned. Sorry. If you stuck around with me, thank you. Otherwise, hopefully you enjoy rewatching this in the replay. But that'll be it for today's Money Date series video. I will again continue this later on this week. On the next steps would be a little bit more on budgeting, or I'm not seeing if I can find a better term for it because it's not my ideal term, but it's the term we all know, budgeting. Anywho, thank you again for joining, and I will see you later this week. Ideally, I'm trying to do these daily, and once my Wi-Fi is in a better state, these will be earlier. But thank you again for joining.